everyone. Welcome back to Way to Gets Better. This is episode 51, and today's topic is autism. Now, I'm using this episode to advocate for a community of beautiful people that are currently being stigmatized during these times in our political climate. Now, without getting political, rather advocating for such a topic rather than turning it into a rant about why this is wrong and that is wrong, which, listen, I have my beliefs through and through, which I speak up about on my other platforms. But this platform is used to be a continuation of my It Gets Better brand, where I advocate for mental health awareness, and it's a safe space for anybody who chooses to listen, regardless of their beliefs. So, by not bringing politics into this platform, I like to create a safe space for people to listen to what I have to say, because what is dividing us right now, yes, is our politics and our beliefs and differences in our beliefs. But what we all have in common is mental health. So that is why this is my safe space for everybody to listen and not have to feel like, okay, if I'm going to listen to this podcast today, is it going to say something that's going to trigger me to feel some type of way? So no, I'm not going to get political, but I am going to advocate. So let's dive in. So I asked research, what is autism? And this is what it said. Autism spectrum disorder is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects a person's ability to communicate, interact socially, and engage in repetitive behaviors. Some key characteristics: social communication difficulties, challenges with understanding and using social cues, difficulty initiating and maintaining conversations, and limited eye contact, repetitive behaviors and restricted interest, insistence on routines, repetitive movements, and intense narrow interests that may consume a significant amount of time, sensory sensitivities, hypersensitivity or hyposensitivity to sounds, textures, tastes, or smells. Causes: the exact cause of ASD is unknown, but it is believed to be a complex interaction between genetic and environmental factors. The diagnosis: ASD is typically diagnosed based on a comprehensive evaluation by a qualified professional, such as a pediatrician, developmental pediatrician, or a neuropsychologist. The evaluation will include observations of the individual's behavior, interviews with family members, and may involve standardized testing. Now, spectrum nature: ASD is considered a spectrum disorder, meaning that individuals can exhibit a wide range of symptoms and abilities. Some people with ASD have mild challenges, while others have require significant support. Treatment and management: there is no cure for ASD, but interventions and therapies can help individuals manage their symptoms and improve their quality of life. These may include behavioral therapy, speech and language therapy, occupational therapy, educational support, and social skills training. It is important to remember that every person with ASD is unique and has their own strengths and challenges. With understanding and support and appropriate interventions, individuals with ASD can lead fulfilling lives. Now, the current understanding of autism spectrum disorder does not recognize distinct subtypes. Instead, ASD is characterized by a range of symptoms and severity levels, classified as follows. Level 1 is mild: difficulty with social interactions and communication, repetitive behaviors and restricted interest, may have subtle challenges with social cues and understanding social norms. Level 2 is moderate: more significant difficulties with social interactions and communication, pronounced repetitive behaviors and restricted interests, and may require substantial support in daily life. And level 3, severe: severe difficulties with social interactions and communication, very limited verbal or nonverbal communication, and may require extensive support in all aspects of life. It is important to note that these classifications are not mutually exclusive, and individuals with ASD may exhibit characteristics from multiple levels. Additionally, there may be other conditions that share similarities with ASD, such as Asperger's syndrome and childhood disintegrative disorder. But these are no longer considered separate diagnoses. With all the misinformation going around about the cause of autism, this is what research said about autism's causes. What are the three main causes of autism? There is not just one cause of ASD. Many different factors have been identified that may make a child more likely to have ASD, including environmental, biological, and genetic factors. Now, there are severity levels of autism, and this is what the research has to say about that. The severity of autism spectrum disorder, and typically addressing the three oh, the three level system based on Diagnostic and Statistical Manual. manual, I think I said, of mental disorders, DSM-5. These levels are level 1, requiring support. Individuals exhibit noticeable social communication deficits, but can initiate social interactions and respond to social cues. Restricted and repetitive behaviors may be present, but do not significantly interfere with daily functioning. Level 2, requiring substantial support, marked by deficits in social communication and restricted repetitive behaviors that cause significant impairment in daily functioning, difficulty initiating social interactions and responding to social cues, may require substantial support in daily life, such as assistance with communication, social skills, and managing repetitive behaviors. And level 3, requiring very substantial support, severe deficits in social communication and restricted repetitive behaviors that severely impaired daily functioning, limited ability to initiate social interactions, and may have minimal response to social cues, and may require extensive support in all aspects of daily life, including communication, self care, and education. It is important to note that severity levels may vary over time and across different situations. There is no single typical presentation of ASD, and individuals may exhibit different symptoms and challenges. The severity level is not a measure of intelligence or cognitive ability, and comprehensive evaluation by a qualified professional is necessary for an accurate diagnosis and determination of severity. Now, if you want to get your child tested for autism, this is how you go about doing so. To get your child tested for autism, start by discussing your concerns with their pediatrician, who can perform an initial screening or refer you to a specialist for a comprehensive evaluation. You can also complete an online MCHART-R questionnaire to identify behaviors and contact the state's early intervention program for free developmental evaluations. If your child is young, a formal diagnosis is made by a specialist after observing your child, reviewing developmental history, and administering specific diagnostic tests. Talk to your child's pediatrician. Schedule an appointment, discuss your concerns about your child's development, behavior, or social interaction with their doctor. Screening, your pediatrician will likely perform a screening using questionnaires and observations to identify early signs of autism, and a referral. If the screening results suggest concerns, the pediatrician can refer you to a specialist for a formal diagnostic evaluation. Consider a self-care, excuse me, guys. I'm a little jumpy today. I'm a little getting too excited about this. Consider a self-screening, not self-care, a self-screening tool. The MCHART-R questionnaire uses this free online tool to assess the likelihood of autism in children ages 16 to 30 months by answering questions about their behavior, and discuss your results with the doctor. Share the results with your doctor, healthcare provider to prompt further discussion and evaluation, and explore early intervention programs. Free evaluations. If your child is very young and your state's early intervention program may provide free developmental evaluations, contact your local county office. Reach out to your local county office to learn more about these programs and understand the diagnostic evaluation. Specialist involvement. A formal diagnosis is made by a specialist, such as a developmental pediatrician or a neuropsychiatrist, not the initial screening. Assessment components. The evaluation may involve questionnaires, developmental history, and interactive play based tests to assess communication, social behavior, and other skills. A specialist is key. An experienced professional is important to differentiate the uh, between behaviors related to autism and other conditions like shyness, and be proactive with your concerns. Trust your instincts. Your knowledge of your child is valuable, so trust your gut feelings about their development. Don't wait. If you have any concerns, don't delay seeking evaluation, as early intervention can significantly improve outcomes for children with autism. And get a second opinion. If your initial doctor doesn't take your concerns seriously, seek a second opinion from another professional. Now, that's for getting a diagnosis for a child. Now, this is for getting a diagnosis as an adult. Now, as an adult, how you go about it. Steps to get tested for autism as an adult. This is what the research said. 1, consult a healthcare professional. Start by talking to your primary care physician, a psychiatrist, or a psychologist. They can provide guidance on the process and recommend qualified professionals for the evaluation. Find a qualified clinician. Um, look for a clinician who specializes in diagnosing autism spectrum disorder in adults. They should have experience and training in administering standardized diagnostic tools and schedule an evaluation. The evaluation typically involves a comprehensive interview to gather information about your personal and family history, symptoms, and challenges. Standardized tests to assess your cognitive ability, social communication skills, and repetitive behaviors. An observation of your interactions with the clinician. Um, Review the results. A clinician will review the results, and your interview will determine if you meet the diagnostic criteria for ASD. They will provide you with a written diagnosis and discuss treatment options. Now, consider additional support. If you receive an autism diagnosis, you may be eligible for support services such as therapy and counseling, educational interventions, social skills training, and employment assistance. The process of getting tested for autism as an adult may vary depending on your location, your insurance coverage, and individual circumstances. Now, when it comes to autism, there are kids with autism or individuals with autism who have sensory needs. That this is how you can go about helping. This helps you respect the sensory needs of a person with autism. This is what the research said. To respect the sensory needs of someone with autism, create sensory friendly environments by adjusting lighting, managing noise, and minimizing clutter. Offer comfortable clothing and avoid forcing unwanted touch, and provide sensory tools like noise, canceling headphones, fidget toys, or weighted blankets to help manage the overstimulation or sensory seeking. Now, adjust the environment. Lighting, reduce harsh lights by using natural light or soft lamps. Consider providing sunglasses or lights to covers for a quick fix. Minimize overwhelming sounds by using noise canceling headphones or a white noise machine. You can also create a quiet, calm down corner with sensory tools. Simplify the environment by reducing clutter and using a consistent, calm color scheme for walls and furniture. Avoid strong or artificial perfumes and cleaning smells. And when it comes to respect the touch and movement, clothing. Choose soft, comfortable clothing such as seamless socks or cotton fabrics and avoid textures that may be irritating. Do not force hugs or other physical contact. Respect the person's boundaries and ask for permission before touching. Offering options for sensory input may seek like a weighted blanket, um deep pressure or a crash pad for jumping. These can be done in a safe, structured way. For tools and support, sensory aids provide tools like noise canceling headphones, sunglasses, fidgeting toys, and weighted blankets to help manage sensory input. Allow for breaks in a calm space where when they feel overwhelmed, and give the person time to process information before expecting a response. Asking for clarification if you don't understand something, and don't talk about them as if they aren't there. And if you need to introduce new sensory experiences, do so gradually with their consent, ensuring that they have control over the process. So yeah, there you go. There's that. Now, I know I'm jumping from like topic to topic today. I do want to say this is one of those topics where I lack the intersectionality to actually have like much of a story time. But this episode is used for advocating for this community of beautiful people who I believe right now they're being stigmatized heavily, and it grinds my gears. So if you feel like, oh, this she's jumping from thing to thing, she's not like it's not her usual way of going about things. But like I said, I lack the experience to really sit here and be like, oh, so this one time, like, no. So I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm jumping from one thing to thing. In between, I'll have some things to say, but it's not one of those things where I'm going to have like story time today. But okay, let's jump back to the topics. Now, numerous harmful misconceptions about autism persist, stemming from stereotypes, outdated research, and a lack of understanding. Autism is a neurodevelopmental condition, not an illness, and affects each person differently. Many myths focus on communication, social abilities, emotions, and causes. Now, myths about the nature of autism. Autism is a disease that can be cured, which is a myth. So I'm saying this is a myth. This is not what I'm saying. So a myth is that autism is a disease that can be cured. Autism is a lifelong neurodevelopmental condition and is not a disease or a mental illness. There is no cure for autism, and focusing on a cure can be invalidating to autistic people. Therapy can help individuals manage symptoms and develop skills, but it does not remove autism. There you go. That is telling you that the myth about that it can be cured is no. Okay. The rise in autism diagnoses is an epidemic. Increased diagnosis rate. This is a myth. So when I so this is the myth. The myth is that the rise in autism diagnosis is an epidemic. Now, this is what it say how to debunk the myth. Increased diagnosis rates primarily reflect better public awareness and expanded diagnostic criteria, which now include conditions previously diagnosed separately, such as Asperger's syndrome, excuse me. I cannot talk. The perception of an epidemic can stigmatize autism as if it were a contagious illness, and that is what is going on right now in this climate. But like I said, we're not getting political. Let's get back to it. Now, another myth is that labels like high functioning and low functioning are helpful. These labels are misleading and oversimplify a complex spectrum of abilities. An individual labeled high functioning may still need significant support in certain areas, while those labeled low functioning may have notable strengths. Now, myths about autistic people's abilities and behaviors. All autistic people have an intellectual disability or are geniuses savants. This is what it's saying. This is how it is putting that into a different perspective. Autism is not an intellectual disability, and many autistic individuals have average to above average intelligence. The Rain Man image of a savant is rare. Only a small percentage of autistic people have these kinds of extraordinary skills. Now, autistic people are antisocial or do not want relationships. That is so false, but this is what it said. While autistic people may struggle with navigating complex social cues. They are not necessarily antisocial or often desire genuine connections with others. Difficulty with social conventions is not the same as an unwillingness to connect. Now we have autistic people lack empathy or emotions. That is not true at all. Autistic people experience the full range of emotions but may express them differently or have difficulty recognizing and interpreting others' emotional cues. This is often misinterpreted as lack of emotion. All autistic people are nonverbal. That is so false. Communication styles vary greatly across the autism spectrum. Some autistic people are nonverbal, while others are highly articulate and may use alternative or augmentative communication devices. Now, these are other myths about the demographic of autism. Vaccines cause autism. This widely debunked myth originated from fraudulent 1998 study that has since been retracted, and countless scientific studies have found no link between vaccines and autism. Autism is caused by bad parenting. That is so false. The refrigerator mother theory, which blamed autism on a lack of parental affection, was scientifically disproven decades ago. Autism has a strong genetic basis, often involving a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Autism primarily affects boys. That is false. Autism affects individuals of all genders, though it is diagnosed more frequently in boys. Diagnostic criteria have historically been based on how autism presents in males, leading to many girls being undiagnosed or misdiagnosed, particularly due to the tendency to mask or camouflage their traits. So there's that. Now, the biggest topic of the year has been Tylenol and autism. Now, placing blame on the mother for causing her child's autism is absolutely bananas, in my opinion. And let me share some research on what actual doctors and experts have said about the topic. Now, my sister is not political at all, but she is an ABA specialist working with kids with autism. And she got fired up about this. I've never seen her so fired up politically before in my life, but this really got her going. And like I said, we're not talking about politics, but we're going to talk about the topic at hand and how she got fired up about it because this was stigmatizing this community, and she advocates so passionately for these people that she works with. And so let's get the facts straight and set the record straight about this. In recent, long-standing consensus, major medical groups like the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists affirm that Tylenol, I'm gonna try to say this. I don't want to be like, I don't want to acetaminophen? Okay, I hope I didn't butcher it. You can roast me, whatever you gotta do. Is a safe and effective treatment for pain and fever during pregnancy when used as directed. However, doctors advise that any medication, including Tylenol, should be used cautiously at the lowest effective dose for the shortest time possible and with a healthcare provider's consultation. The medical consensus is based on the following key points. Risk of not treating fever or pain. Untreated high fever during pregnancy can pose significant risk to both mother and baby, including miscarriage and birth defects. Using acetaminophen to manage a high temperature is often seen as safer than allowing the fever to persist. Other options are less safe. Using other over-the-counter pain relievers such as non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen, Advil, and Aleve are not recommended during pregnancy, particularly after 20 weeks. This makes acetaminophen the primary choice for pain and fever. No proven cause excuse me, no proven causal link to neurodevelopmental disorders. Some observational studies have shown that association between prenatal acetaminophen exposure and neurodevelopmental disorders like autism and ADHD. However, the vast majority of studies have major limitations and cannot prove causal link. The most rigorous recent studies, which controlled for genetic and familial factors, found no association. Now, association versus causation. The association found in some studies can be misleading. Conditions that lead a pregnant person to take Tylenol, such as illnesses causing fever and chronic pain, could be the actual contributing factors, not the medication itself. Studies comparing siblings born in the same mother support this conclusion. Recent pushback on warnings. Following a controversial announcement from the federal officials suggesting a link to autism, and major medical organizations reaffirmed their guidance. They warned that overly aggressive label changes could frighten pregnant people into avoiding necessary treatment and seeking out less safe alternatives. Now, besides that misinformation, so I hope that puts things into perspective. Now, this is all coming from research and things being said by actual people who know what they're talking about. So now, besides the misinformation being put out about autism, it was also said by the same people who put out that misinformation that people with autism can't live normal lives or hold a job or pay bills. And that is not true, first of all. That's not true at all. So this is what is said about the misconceptions. Mythical misconceptions often suggest that autistic people or people with autism are incapable of living normal lives. The idea of a normal life is misleading, as individuals with autism have the same potential for happiness and fulfillment as anyone else. Though their path may be different, with proper support and understanding, autistic individuals can lead successful and independent lives, form meaningful relationships, and contribute to their communities. Autism is not just a childhood condition. The myth is that autism is something that children can have and eventually outgrow. The fact is, autism is a lifelong neurodevelopmental difference. Children with autism become adults with autism, and their traits and needs may change over time. The underlying neurological differences remain. A fact is that many autistic adults or adults with autism, sometimes you have to be careful with the way you word things. This is what the research is saying, but I like to, like, when as I'm reading, I like read it and it comes to mind. I'm like, okay, let me try to reword this. Many adults with autism learn strategies to navigate a neurotypical world more effectively, and this is not outgrowing autism, but adapting to it. Autistic individuals or of individuals with autism can live independently. Myth is that all autistic adults or all adults with autism, this is what I have to keep like trying to like reframe it. Adults with autism, um, adults need constant round the clock care. That's the myth. Now, this is the fact about that. While some individuals with autism may need significant support, many can achieve high degree of independence with appropriate education, accommodations, and support. Another fact, success stories of individuals with autism in various fields from science to the arts highlight the potential for independent and fulfilling lives. And now, when I get to the part about the celebrities, a lot of these celebrities that some you may not have heard of, a lot of them are like have done incredible things in this world. So, like I said, being an individual with autism, it doesn't limit you to the things that you can do in life. Wait till you hear this list that I have and you're gonna be like, "What? Oh my god, like that person has autism? Like, wow, like I can," so don't ever let the world put limits on you. So, individuals with autism are capable of deep relationships. The myth says that individuals with autism are unsociable or lack the capacity for meaningful relationships. What the fact is that many individuals with autism desire connection and friendship, but may socialize differently than neurotypical individuals. Challenges often arise from navigating unwritten social rules and interpreting nonverbal cues. Another fact is that individuals with autism form deep, loyal, and meaningful relationships and often express emotions intensely, though they may communicate differently. And this is another thing, intelligence and career success are not limited by autism. Now, all individuals, this is the myth. The myth says that all individuals with autism are either intellectually disabled or savant geniuses, as often portrayed in the media. The fact is that autism exists across a full range of intelligence. Many individuals with autism have average or above average intelligence with a wide variety of skills and abilities. Another fact is that I keep I'm reading how the research is saying it, but I don't like how it's worded. It kind of adds a stigmatization to that, so I'm trying to be careful with how I say. So anytime I misspoke and said the wrong thing in this topic is due to what the research says, and I'm going way too fast, but I'm trying to like reword it as I go. Individuals with autism can be highly successful professionally, particularly with the right job fit and workplace accommodations. They often bring valuable skills such as attention to detail, reliability, and different perspectives. Individuals with autism have emotions and empathy. The myth about that is that individuals with autism lack emotions or empathy. Now, the fact about that is individuals with autism experience the same range of emotions such as neurotypical people, the same range of emotions as neurotypical people. The misperception of a lack of empathy often stems from difficulty interpreting or expressing emotions in a conventional way. Another fact is that some individuals with autism may experience heightened empathy, feeling the emotions of others intensely, which can be overwhelming. Autism is not a disease that to be cured. The myth is that autism is a disease that can be or should be cured. The fact of that is autism is a neurodevelopmental difference and is not an illness. Interventions and therapies aim to help individuals with autism. See, I'm trying to reword it as I go. Individuals with autism develop skills and improve their quality of life, not erase their autism. And another fact is many individuals with autism self advocates views of autism as an integral and valued part of their identity. By debunking these myths, it becomes clear that the concept of single normal life is an illusion. Instead, the focus should be on creating inclusive environments and providing personalized support so that every individual, including those with autism, can thrive and find their own versions of a fulfilling life. So don't ever just because somebody is in a position of power doesn't mean they're qualified to tell you what, the truth about something is, okay? So don't ever think that just because somebody is in a position of power that they are the word of or they are the word according to God, because that is not true. So there you go. Okay, so let's get back. So this is a little bit of story time. So I started following this family named the Lewis Empire. Um, on Facebook, they are the Lewis Empire. On Instagram, they are Lewis Empire 6. They have great stuff. They have a daughter with autism, beautiful little girl. They share content about their family and things like that. Um, So I enjoyed watching their content as I was gaining inspiration about this topic. They had a video that was helping advocate for young girls with autism who are nonverbal and how when it is their time of the month, how they go about handling it, which I found it was I was like, this is interesting because I going into this, I was kind of like not as educated on the topic of autism. So doing this topic, I'm educating myself and I'm trying to educate others as well and advocate. Um, so this is a source of like content on social media that I'm trying to push and show you guys that you should follow them. They're great. So bringing awareness to the topic of menstruation and nonverbal young girls with autism. I thought it's such a common thing, you wouldn't even think. Well, I wouldn't even think because like I said, I lack the intersectionality to really know if it's common or not. But as I was doing my research for this topic, I saw that and I was like, wow, this is interesting. So let me talk about it. So let me help share the message and spread awareness as to what they were trying to do with that topic, which I found pretty interesting. So, menstruation in nonverbal individuals with autism spectrum disorder. Menstruation is a natural biological process that affects all females, including those with ASD. However, individuals with nonverbal ASD may experience unique challenges related to menstruation. Now, understanding menstruation, physical changes. Menstruation involves the shedding of the uterine lining, resulting in bleeding and cramps. Emotional changes, hormonal fluctuations during menstruation can cause mood swings and anxiety and irritability. And sensory changes. Some individuals with ASD may experience increased sensitivities to smell, sound, textures during menstruation. Now, the challenges for nonverbal individuals, communication difficulties. Nonverbal individuals may have difficulty communicating their menstrual symptoms or needs to caregivers. Understand the process. They may not understand what menstruation is, why it happens, and what to expect. The sensory overwhelm. The physical and emotional changes associated with menstruation can trigger sensory overwhelm in some individuals. Now, supporting nonverbal individuals during that time, open communication, establish open and accepting communication with the individual about menstruation, visual aids, use pictures, diagrams, or videos to explain the process and expected symptoms, sensory support, provide sensory support such as weighted blankets, noise canceling headphones, or aromatherapy to manage overwhelm, and regular check ins. Check in regularly with the individual to see how they are feeling and if they need any support and medical guidance. Seek guidance from a healthcare professional to discuss any specific concerns or medical interventions related to menstruation. Remember, every individual with ASD is different and their experiences with menstruation may vary. It is important to approach each situation with sensitivity and understanding and support. So there you have it with that. So let's dive into the spectrum of autism, which refers to the wide range of differences in how people with autism spectrum disorder experience social interactions, communications, and behavior. It means every individual with autism is unique in their own set of strengths and challenges. Some people may have difficulty with communications, while may be fluent speakers. Some individuals may need a lot of support in daily tasks, while others can live independently. The spectrum also includes a variety of restrictive and repetitive behaviors, interests, and sensory activities. Now, the social communication and interaction, back and forth conversation. This can range from challenges in social emotional Guys, I can't talk today. This can range from challenges in social, emotional, reciprocity. Can't say that word. Oh my God. Reciprocity. I can't. To having advanced conversation skills, nonverbal communication. This can include difficulties with eye contact, understanding gestures, facial expressions, and body language. Relationships, some may struggle to develop and maintain relationships while others may be interested in friendships. I see some of this, the one about the relationships, I just debunked that. So this is what the research says. It is not true. Some may struggle to develop and maintain relationships. That may be true in some aspects, but no, I don't. That sounds very stigmatizing, that fact. So I read it, but I don't like that fact. Anyway, restricted repetitive behaviors, repetitive movements. Examples include hand flapping, rocking, and spinning objects. Repetitive speech. This can include repeating words or phrases. and or asking persistent questions, intense interest. An individual may have a very focused and intense interest in a specific topic. Routine and sameness. Some people with autism may prefer strict routines and have difficulties with changes. Now, sensory processing, um, hypersensitivity, over responsiveness. Some individuals may be overly sensitive to input like sounds, lights, textures, or smells. Hyposensitivity, under responsiveness. Others may seem under responsive and may seek out certain sensory input. And a situational difference. How sensitive someone is can vary depending on the situational environment. Now, let me take a break for a second because the Amazon people are here and I know my dog is about to go crazy. So I don't want her barking over me doing this, but this topic has been very interesting. Like, I'm educating myself on this. This has been very interesting to me. A lot of these topics that I do lack the intersectionality to actually sit here and be like, okay, so this, like last week's episode was on bipolar disorder, which I have the experience with. I have the, story time for that. This one, not so much. But like I said, I'm educating myself as a mental health advocate, and for somebody who advocates for anybody in society. I just want to educate myself more so I'm able to be more of an advocate. What advocacy is basically you're like educating yourself on things and you're speaking out for things that you think are unfair. Like a lot of my advocacy is basically trying to help destigmatize a lot of misconceptions about mental health. Being an individual who is somebody who was stigmatized at one point in my life, probably still being stigmatized. I like to help other people. So by educating myself about autism, it's helping me become a better advocate. And a lot of this podcast is helping me become a better advocate in a way, like things that I didn't know before about certain topics. As I do this, I'm learning as I go. So now that Amazon has left, let's get back into the facts. Now, I wanted to highlight the strength of those with autism. So, this is what the research said. So, individuals with autism spectrum disorder often exhibit unique strengths and abilities that contribute to the unique perspectives and ways of interacting with the world. Here are some of the recognized strengths of autism: cognitive strengths, exceptional memory. Individuals with autism often have excellent memory skills, particularly for details and facts. Strong problem solving abilities. They may excel at logical reasoning, pattern recognition, and finding creative solutions to problems. Another one of their strengths is intense focus and concentration. Their ability to hyper focus on specific tasks or interests can lead to deep knowledge and expertise in particular areas. Attention to detail. Individuals with autism often have a keen eye for detail, noticing subtle patterns and discrepancies that may others might miss. Now, social and emotional strengths. Empathy and compassion. While social interactions may present challenges, individuals with autism can demonstrate deep empathy and compassion for others. Um, their honesty and directness. They often express their thoughts and feelings honestly without pretense. Loyalty and reliability. Individuals with autism are known for their loyalty and dependability in relationships. So when somebody says they have difficulty, this is going off the cuff here. When somebody says, or somebody in a position of power says they have difficulty maintaining relationships or things like that, when you hear this fact that they're loyal and reliable, like, excuse me, like, sign me up. I would love to have a loyal and reliable friend like that. So difficulty. Are you kidding? Uh, I can't. Anyways, special interests. Their intense passions and interests can provide a source of joy, motivation, and connection with others who share their passions. Now, this is a little bit of a story time. I didn't write this in my notes or anything, but I want to special mention I made a friend in a cinema studies class back when I was going to Suffolk. It was my like second semester. His name was Tyler. He was very passionate about cinema. And now you're asking me, why are you bringing this person up? He's an individual with Asperger's. And I just remember he was in that class, he was my good friend in that class. We talked every time before class. We would meet up early, have conversations. He would vent to me about his life. I would give him advice. Like we would have nice conversations. We still on Facebook, like here and there, we'll interact. Um, he's such a cool person. I actually suggested to him, I'm like, you should make a podcast about cinema. People will love to hear what you have to say because he is somebody who is so passionate about cinema. Hearing him talk about cinema and the movies he's seen and the things he's studied in his time taking cinema studies, like he is such an interesting individual. So when I talk about this topic, special interest and how they're very passionate, he is one person that is an example of somebody who is very passionate about a specific topic that I had to share the story about him because he's such a cool person. I hope he's doing well. Like I see him on Facebook here and there. He seems like he's doing well. Um, yeah, so like I said, they're very passionate about certain things. Now, some of their other strengths, let's get back into it. Artistic and musical talents. Autistic, I'm trying to reframe what it's saying. I don't like the word autistic. Individuals with autism, okay? Let me fix that. Individuals with autism may exhibit exceptional talents in art, music, and other creative pursuits. You'll hear some of that when I talk about the celebrities for the part where I try to help, like, show people that they're not alone and some of their favorite people, have the same things that they have. Physical coordination and motor skills. Some individuals with autism may display exceptional abilities such as agility, coordination, and fine motor skills, and sensitivity to sensory experiences. Their heightened sensory awareness can make them particularly attuned to details in their environment. Now, it is important to note that these strengths may vary widely among individuals with ASD. Additionally, it's crucial to recognize that challenges and difficulties may accompany autism. However, by understanding and appreciating the strengths of individuals with autism, we can foster a more inclusive and supportive environment for them. Now, here are some of the differences in social communication skills in autism involved. Challenges with nonverbal communication, difficulty with reciprocal conversations, and different approach to social interactions. While some individuals with autism have strong language skills, others may require additional support. Now, here are the key differences. Um, I can't say this word. Guys, you can be educated, educated individual, and some words you're just like, okay, like I know I'm smart, but this word, I just can't say it out loud. And it doesn't make you stupid. It just makes you like, okay, that's one thing added to the list of things. Like I may be an intelligent person, but that's one thing added to the list that is one of my challenges. So social interaction differences, reciprocity may have difficulty with the give and take of reciprocal conversations, sometimes leading to monologues about a favorite topic. Understanding perspective may struggle to understand that others have different thoughts, beliefs, and motivations. Social cues, difficulty interpreting subtle social cues like body language, facial expressions, or tone of voice. Friendships. I don't like I'm trying to like advocate, and a lot of this research is like, oh, friendships may find it challenging to initiate and maintain friendships. No, it is not true at all. Okay, it is not true at all. So I'm gonna not read that fact because it's starting to get me mad now that a lot of the research is trying to add to the stigmatization. Like some of the research is like, oh no, it's not true, which is not stigmatizing it. And then some of the research is like, yeah, they have difficulty, maintaining relationships. So no, I hate that. I'm gonna stop speaking about that. Communication skill differences, nonverbal communi. Oh my god, my computer. Nonverbal communication. Okay, here we go. My computer something just popped up. Nonverbal communication avoids to make minimal eye contact, which may feel distracting or overwhelming, may have difficulty using gestures or understanding them in others, or may have trouble reading or using facial expressions. Verbal communication, speech development can vary widely. Some may have delays or use limited vocabulary, while others are fluent speakers, may speak louder or faster than is appropriate for the situation or use a different intonation. Difficulty understanding Non-literal language such as sarcasm, jokes, and idioms. Conversation flow. May have difficulty following a conversation, staying on topic, or knowing how to start or maintain or end the conversation. And processing information at a different rate can affect conversational turn taking. Impacts and context, behavioral responses, frustration from communication challenges can sometimes result in vocal outbursts or in other behaviors. Social impact, these differences can lead to being misunderstood, judged, or bullied, and may cause social fatigue or burnout. Individual variation. It's important to remember that autism is a spectrum and severity of these differences varies significantly from person to person. And communication methods. Some individuals with autism may use augmentative and alternative communication methods to supplement or replace spoken language. Now, here is a list of celebrities who have disclosed their diagnoses. And note that not all celebrities have been rumored to have autism, have publicly confirmed their diagnosis, but here are a few well-known individuals who have disclosed their experiences. So when we talk about how some of individuals with autism have musical talent, we have Sia. She's an Australian singer-songwriter known for her hit songs Chandelier and Titanium. She's also a songwriter, a singer-songwriter. Wentworth Miller, a British-American actor, best known for his role in the TV series Prison Break. We have Elon Musk. See, I don't even know if I wanna okay, because 'cause we're not getting political here, so I'll talk about Elon Musk. Elon Musk, a South African-born American entrepreneur and CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. We have Bill Gates, American software developer and co-founder of Microsoft. See what I'm talking about? See, a lot of individuals with autism are very successful people. We have Elon Musk, we have Sia, we have Wentworth Miller, Bill Gates, Gary Newman, an English musician and songwriter known for his hit song Cars, Greta Thunberg, I love her, a Swedish environmental activist and author, Anthony Hopkins, he's another one, great, a Welsh actor known for his roles in Silence of the Lambs and Westworld. We have Dan Aykroyd, Canadian-American actor and comedian known for his roles in The Blues Brothers and Ghostbusters. And we have Daryl Hannah, an American actress known for her roles in Splash and Kill Bill. Now, it's crucial to respect the privacy of individuals who may not wish to disclose their diagnosis. Additionally, it is important to remember that autism is a spectrum disorder and individuals may present varying symptoms and experiences. Now we're up to the part about the resources. So, resources for autism include national organizations like Autism Society and federal agencies such as the CDC, NIMH for scientific data, and specialized organizations like the Autistic Self Advocacy Network and Self Advocacy in this. I cannot. That was a tongue twister. And the Association for Scientific Science and Autism Treatment. Let me read that again. The Association for Science and Autism Treatment. For evidence-based practices, these are also local and online resources like the National Autism Association's free toolkits, Johns Hopkins Autism Navigator, and state-specific centers. Now, here are some national and federal organizations. We have Autism Society provides a nationwide directory of services, support groups, and advocacy materials for free resources for families and professionals. We have Centers for Disease Control and Prevention offers information and signs, symptoms, screening, and treatment along with a partner toolkit for free materials. We have the National Institute of Mental Health provides general information about ASD symptoms, diagnosis, and treatment plus links to other federal resources. We have the Autistic Self Advocacy Network. We have empowers individuals on autism spectrum to advocate for their rights and provides a range of resources and policy efforts. Association for Science and Autism Treatment offers research summaries on various autism treatments for both families and professionals. And we have the National Autism Association. It provides free educational materials, webinars, and toolkits for families for families, educators, and others through its Autism Atrium initiative. Now, other online specialized resources, we have Johns Hopkins let me reframe that. Johns Hopkins Medicine Autism Navigator. It offers video illustrations of evidence-based intervention techniques for parents to use everyday activities. We have the Autism Internet Module, AIM. It provides free user-friendly interactive training modules on various topics related to autism. We have Autism Parenting Magazine, a digital magazine with a wealth of information on topics like behavioral management, education, and therapy for parents and caregivers. And we have Job Accommodation Network. It provides free confidential guidance on workplace accommodations and employment issues for individuals with and employers. And we have local and state specific resources. Excuse me. We have local autism services. Many states have centers that provide free support, although they may not offer direct medical care. State-specific autism resources, local education services centers often have websites with lists and resources, including care coordination, therapy, and support groups. Now, parents of children with autism can find support through national organizations like the Autism Society of America, local and state and base groups, and we often online resources with rights law for education law, peer-to-peer support networks, and government programs for financial assistance. We have the Autism Society of America. It provides a national network of support, advocacy, and resources at the national, state, and local levels. The ARC, it supports individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, including autism, with resources on advocacy, education, and community living. We have Family Voices, a national network of families that can help parents find their state's free parent support organizations. The Organization for Autism Research, it provides guides and resources for parents, including toolkits and books. And we have Rights Law, that's right with a W, SLAW, a comprehensive resource for parents seeking information on special education law and advocacy. Now we have local and community support. Local autism organizations and advocacy groups search for groups in your area for specific support workshops and peer groups. Parent support groups, organizations like Parent Network of WNY and others provide a space for parents to share experiences and receive support. And state level resources. Check the websites for state specific branches of national organizations and government agencies for local services and support. Now, some online informational resources. You have Autism Navigator. It offers video resources and online courses to help families understand autism. You have Ian, which is Interactive Autism Network, a platform for parents to participate in research and find information in community forums on autism. Now we have the Autism Beacon. It's started by a parent. This site provides resources on treatments and sensitive topics like bullying and sexuality. And we have the ASAT, which is Association for Science in Autism. It offers a comprehensive website on autism treatment considerations. And then we have Financial and Insurance Assistance. Government programs look into programs like Medicaid waivers and supplemental security income for financial support and insurance specialists. Some treatment centers have specialists who can help families navigate the insurance and payment process. Now, we got through the resources. Let's get to the self care for individuals with autism and their caregivers, which involves establishing routines, practicing mindfulness, and seeking support. Caregivers can prioritize sleep, exercise, and healthy eating while also um, finding time for hobbies and social connections. Individuals with autism can benefit from visual aids and structured routines for self help skills while also incorporating relaxing activities, art, or deep breathing. So, we have self care tips for individuals with autism. Use visual supports. We have visual aids like pictures or written cues can help with understanding or completing daily tasks and routines. Establish routines. Having a consistent daily routine can provide a sense of predictability and security. Incorporate calming activities. Practice activities like deep breathing, guided visualization, or creative hobbies like drawing to help manage stress. And communicate needs. Find ways to communicate your needs, especially during stressful times. Open communication is important for well being. And some self care tips for the caregivers: prioritize sleep and nutrition. Getting enough sleep and eating well is crucial for maintaining energy and mental health. Practice mindfulness and relaxation. Incorporate mindfulness exercises like deep breathing and meditation into your day to reduce stress. Seek support, connect with other caregivers, join support groups, or talk to a counselor to avoid feelings of isolation and gain support and perspective. And set realistic expectations. Recognize your personal limits and remember it's okay to ask for help or say no. And incorporate breaks. Schedule regular breaks, even short ones, to step away from caregiving duties and recharge. And use respite care. Arrange for temporary caregiving support to get a needed break, an opportunity to rest and recharge, and educate yourself. Continuously learning more about autism can increase your confidence and provide you with effective strategies in managing daily challenges. And acknowledge accomplishments. Take time to recognize what you have accomplished and celebrate small victories to maintain a positive outlook. And shared activities for both. Engage in creative and relaxing activities together. Activities like art projects or listening to music can be a way to connect and de stress and practice mindfulness together. Try simple mindfulness exercises like deep breathing or progressive body scans to help both you and your loved ones feel more present and calm. Now, here is how you can help destigmatize autism. Educate the public about autism as a neurodevelopmental difference, promote inclusion in schools, workplaces, and community programs, and advocate for accurate and positive media representation, shifting focus and fixing to supporting and accommodating individuals with autism is crucial. So, this is what I'm trying to do with this whole episode. I'm educating myself as well as advocating in the process. Education and awareness, dispel myths. Provide factual information about what autism is and what it is not. For example, clarify what is neurological difference and not a mental illness. Promote neurodiversity, teach that there are many ways brains can work and encourage acceptance of differences rather than focus on deficits. Share personal insights. Families and individuals on the spectrum can share their experiences, strengths, and challenges to provide a more nuanced understanding. Inclusion and acceptance. Foster social connections. Encourage direct interaction between individuals with autism and non-individuals with autism. Not individuals that don't have autism to build understanding and empathy through contact, implement inclusive practices, ensure individuals with autism can participate fully in mainstream educational, community, and professional environments. Now, with that being said, before I get back to that, I saw as I was doing my research, I'm going to go on Instagram right now. I actually saved it. There is this, let me go back to it. I actually, did I? Oh, here we go. Okay. There is this um hold on guys, bear with me. I wanted to share this. I thought it was so cool and it helped me as I was doing my research. So there's the Project Hope Foundation. um, the Project Hope Foundation is providing a lifespan of autism services across the spectrum with 4 core programs such as therapy, education, adult services, and community engagement. Now, actually they employ a lot of individuals with autism and they sell shirts that say things like hope or don't hear what I didn't say. So I saw this video and I shared it. I thought it was pretty cool. It's called the Project Hope Foundation. Definitely check them out. So I thought it was so cool. So as I was talking about that, how implement inclusive practices, I had to talk about them. Use positive language. Frame characteristics in a neutral, positive way. For example, use autistic individuals instead of people with autism. Okay. I say individuals with autism. Focus on strengths and high intelligence or technical prowess. And media and advocacy. Challenge stereotypes. Encourage media portrayals that are accurate, respectful, and diverse. Support autistic voices. Amplify the voices of individuals with autism to allow them to share their experiences and perspectives daily and advocate for policy. Speak up to legislators about policies that impact access to services, insurance, and support systems for individuals with autism. Now, let me get to my favorite part. I love the affirmations. That is big part of the It Gets Better brand. So let's talk about it. Now, here's some affirmations for individuals with autism who can focus on self-esteem, and things like social skills and overcoming challenges. For caregivers, these are affirmations as well. For individuals with autism, general self-esteem. I am capable and unique. I am proud of who I am and all that I have accomplished. My opinion matters and my voice deserves to be heard. I am loved and respected. It is enough to do my best. And so, social skills and communication. I am learning how to communicate better. I can share my ideas with confidence. It is okay to ask questions and learn from others. I am a good friend. I can express myself clearly. Now, here's for overcoming challenges in executive functioning. We have I'm getting better at staying focused. I can handle changes and new situations. I am strong and can overcome my challenges. My mistakes help me learn and grow. I can do hard things. And drawing upon resilience and patience and self compassion, affirmations for caregivers of individuals with autism can help foster a positive mindset. Now, affirmations for strength and resilience. This is for the caregivers now. I am strong and capable of handling whatever today brings. I possess the strength needed to navigate any challenges. I can do hard things. I am resilient and will overcome my challenges. I am doing what I can do, and that is enough. I am proud of what I accomplished today, no matter how small. Some self compassion and acceptance. I am exactly the parent my child needs. It is okay to have a rough day. We can start fresh again tomorrow. I will be gentle and loving with myself when I make mistakes. I am not perfect, and that is okay. My feelings are valid. I am doing great things, and that is hard, but that is okay. And then you can say things for self care and well being. I am deserving of rest and self care, and I prioritize my well being. My self care is necessary, not selfish. Taking care of myself is taking care of my family. It is okay to ask for and accept help when I need it. I need today's stress and embrace peaceful rest. Now, some parenting and relationships. I treasure my child and the unique individual they are. My child and I are on a journey together, and I'm not alone. Love and acceptance flow freely in our home. My child's uniqueness is a source of wonder and joy. Every moment I invest in my child does matter, and even if I cannot see the impact now. Tips for using affirmations. Create a routine. Start and enjoy your day by repeating affirmations to help center your thoughts and release tension. Write them down, put them on sticky notes, and place them in mirrors and refrigerators as a constant visual reminder. And use I am statements. This phrasing can reinforce self worth and reminding you of your strengths during difficult moments, and personalize your list. Choose affirmations that resonate with you and your specific situation. You can write some of your own and breathe. While feeling overwhelmed, pause, take a deep breath, and repeat a calming affirmation to recenter yourself. So that is it for today's episode. Thank you for listening. This was a long one. Now, thank you. Like I said, thank you for listening. I hope I made my sister Courtney proud. She is the ABA specialist who is very passionate about working with the individuals she works with. And I also wanted to help advocate, especially during times like these where the community of beautiful people are being stigmatized. They deserve dignity, respect, and understanding. And I was also educating myself, so this topic really helped me, learn a lot more than I knew. So now, next episode is about survivors of murder victims. The one after that will be ADHD, and the one after that will be about depression in all forms, such as seasonal depression, postpartum depression. Everything will be covered along that aspect. No stone will be unturned. And I also think the one after that, I want to talk about the mental health of single mothers or being a single parent. We're not going to just stick to one gender. We're going to talk about being a single parent in general. Um, Now, if you or anyone you know is struggling, text HOME to 741-741, the crisis text line for a free confidential conversation with a trained counselor at any time of day. Text or call 988 or use the chat function at 988lifeline.org. 988 continues to offer support to anyone who needs it, but no longer offers specialized LGBTQ plus support. If you are looking for specialized LGBTQ plus support, you can contact the Trevor Project directly and call 1-866-488-7386 or text START to 678-678 or connect online at trvr.org/get-help for the same free, secure support as always. And you can find more crisis resources at thejedfoundation.org/crisis. And the new lifeline for the LGBTQIA given by Canada is 1-877-330 6366. And you can call the NAMI helpline at 800-950-6264, or you can text NAMI at 62640. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you next time. Remember, this too shall pass. I love you guys. Stay well. Bye bye. Ugh, I did it.